Today, my name is Hatri and I will guide you until the end of the session. We had the morning session this morning and now we will start the afternoon session. So Indigo Creative Nation, as a startup incubator and accelerator owned by PT Telkom Indonesia today, on Wednesday, August 29, 2018, again held their third annual event, Indigo Day. Indigo Day is held as a synergy between Indigo startups and Telkom Group, also with more than 15 venture capitals and startup investors with the prospect of future investment. So Indigo Day is an event combination between Indigo Day this morning and also Demo Day this afternoon. And Indigo Day will combine several activities such as startup pitching, startup demo day, startup exhibition, and talk show, which will be filled by speakers from startups, corporations, and venture capitals. So I would like to welcome every one of you here from investor, venture capitals, and also media. And we also have exhibitors on the both sides of the stage. Perhaps some of you already meet them during the afternoon session. And if this morning we already have some panel discussion and also startup pitching, this afternoon session we will have another demo session from selected startups, and also panel discussion from notable speakers. Well, to open this afternoon session, we would like to invite Mr. Eric Punta as Managing Director from Indigo Creative Nation to have the opening speech. So please welcome Mr. Eric Punta.
Assalamualaikum, good afternoon everybody. Well, I feel so honored, so proud that I'm with all the staff and wanting to ask and so if we begin with the story of the definitions. So, because the definition is one of the Telkom Group initiative for startup to develop and explore Indonesia digital creative industry. Of course, we expect to speed up the nation development well. So, actually, it began on the 2012 started for the military program at the time. So we started to nurture the three startup health since up to 2015. And we started the accelerating the education since 2015 up to now. Through, of course, with the collaboration with our also group, so MBI and our and also work in for the nurturing creativity and nurturing the talents with our partners, big team. And this is actually it's a lot of things and a lot of changes since the one start. Before that, actually we started the initiative since 2009, which is nobody at the time used the term of startup. Yes, we began the initiative at the time with the term technopreneurs. And we changed the bit with trainers, and then since 2012, when we started the Indonesian program, we are using the term of so 2009, even we are starting by appreciating time. And we have not even music for the time. So we have Indigo Fellowships and Indigo Trainer Award. So one of the fellowship actually it became one of the big startup in the travel industry and also here that with healthcare. So by comparing with the other program, we actually can claim that good recognition is one of the most complete program. And according to the analysts, we are one of the most active data in these regions, especially in the Southeast Asia. So, it was in all so, yes, exactly. Why we are successful in startup is because one of the collaboration that we are trying to build. We have market access, we have the market capability, with the group itself, our customer access, and our mobile customer access. We can combine this more than 150 million customers from the personal to medium and large corporate. There's some things that actually we can combine together. But we also, of course, we also need the fund, also the sorry, but the combination between the collaboration between the large corporations and also the startup, combining and making a new value creation that bring more and more value for the industry. So to spread the awareness about the digitalizing in Indonesia, 2013, Indigo Creative Region started to build the startup ecosystem that for digital innovation launch and also digital value. Up to now, we have actually 22 species across Indonesia. So from Banda Aceh up to Makassar. So I guess this is also one of the largest and biggest facilities in these regions. So we can gather up to 20,000 of talents across the regions, and of them 111 startups that joined the program. Actually, we have some promising startup that's really us proud in this case. That safe and this one is also already in the market. One of them is actually from the fintech area is 3TID. It's the one that doing digital uh, digital KYC and also digital signing. Also for the big data, we have Volantis and Opera. And we also have one of the startup that we incubate and also accelerated by the Y Combinator in Silicon Valley, which is very fast, one that we agents. And also in the big data, we have Synchro, Solar, and also the one of the this is not the data, but it is for the messaging. We have Discuss. Discuss is one of the platform that now helping collaboration of Asian Games. From the explain that. So more than 40,000 of members in Asian Games are using platform in the discussion. We would like to introduce another potential startup that already market in our. We will have 6 startups. Sonic Boom is the technology that transmits data via inaudible sound. So Sonic Boom. This is very cool startup and very interesting. Rockflag, of course, this is the video, the first Indonesian video analytic platform. And Jasa Connect is an on-demand enabler of the order field that uses field management software to connect with each other. And we also have the authentic guard, which is one that provides the technology to against the counterfeit and infected product using the QR and the NFC technology. Packet ID, this is one that focuses on the logistic. Bahaso, it is an interactive and easy to learn foreign language, in this case is English language. And also one of the bonus, so when we present as a discuss, this is based on real-time technology communication platform. Well, this is actually a lot of question coming to us. How come you start 2009 and start incubation since 2012, and then it's more than 5 years for us, and still we will have questions from the media, so that Telkom will continue this program. Yes, answer is yes. And how do we survive? First, of course, we have specific and dedicated unit doing the things. Also, the full support from the Telkom Group and Telkom Indonesia. And thanks to the integrated startup ecosystem that we changed, we are happy to work with the ecosystem together, developing the digital startup in Indonesia. And we embrace the open innovation culture, how we could collaborate and create innovation together from the corporation and the startup together and vendors. Passionate teams, I'd like to introduce Paninun. This is the man behind the Indigo. For the events today, all the teams of Indigo teams making this event. And also the consistency to break the system and also keep innovate and keep trying to find the best of this ecosystem. So, last but not least, thank you for coming. Dear valued guests from Parity Stakeholders. So we have really background that's coming today from the Indigo network, from the investors, VCs, academic, client, and also the governments. So, I present the Indigo team. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Eric Punta for opening the afternoon session of Indigo Demo Day today. And for the first discussion, we will hear a success story between CMU and Indigo startup collaboration. So for this discussion, we will invite Baktiar Rifai, co-founder and CEO of Opera Technology, and Sony Rahmadi Purnomo, founder and CEO of Rap System. So please come to the stage, Mr. Baktiar and also Mr. Sony. and will be moderated by Aditya Hadi.
Thanks a lot, Tati. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I think I can still hear you. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, thank you very much. I give a big round of applause for all of us. Thank you very much. I need that for hype up the event this afternoon. Okay, at the beginning, Pak Eric Kota has said that Telkom has started Indigo in around a long time ago. We start with technopreneur and continue with digitalpreneur, and now we enter the era of startup. And now Indigo is, I think, is the incubator and accelerator with the most portfolio, right, in Indonesia. And two of them, the CEO is now sitting in front of us. The first one is Mr. Baktiari Bai from Kopera. Give a big round of applause for Kopera. And the second one is Mr. Sony Rahmadi Purnomo, founder and CEO of Run System. Give a big round of applause for Mr. Sony. Maybe to begin this panel, maybe some people here doesn't know about you and your business. Maybe you can share about what are you doing with your startup and what is the big achievement that you have got till now. Maybe Baktiar.
Thank you very much, Mas Adit. Good afternoon, everybody here. I'm glad to be here this afternoon. So, my name is Baktiar. So, I'm from Kopera, basically. So, we start Kopera businesses in 2015 by attending Indigo incubator. I forget which batch I was in. It's so long ago, by
yeah, because Indigo has a lot of batch and has a lot of startups.
That's true, yeah. So basically, what we're doing at that time is we work on some kind of machine learning algorithm to optimize, digital marketing effort, especially in PPC advertising. So from there, basically, we grow into more like a big data company. So startup Kopera is actually now is not the main business of ours. So Kopera is just a subsidiary of ours, and then right now we have a bigger sister company named Volantis, which is a big data company that solving not only in the PPC advertising, but also in another field like mining, agriculture, logistics, and others. So what we are doing is basically we get a value of data and turn that into insight. So that's the overall sector that we do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then Mr. Sony, can you explain about Run System, please?
Okay, thank you, Mas Adit. I'm sorry from Run System. We joined the incubator 2014. Okay, even yeah, and then in 2014 we made an enterprise solution for manufacturing sector. We built a ERP system, and then after 3 years, right now we try to penetrate another sector with build. If Opera have a sister company, and then right now we have two subsidiary company. One of them is joined the incubator 2018. Okay. First, we try to have manufacturing problem with the ERP system, but right now we just big achievement that we can note right now is we already proven to implement in several state-owned company in Indonesia. That I think that the business is important.
Okay, thank you. And Maybe because the topic of this panel is about synergy and collaboration, I am aware that both of you already have a collaboration with Telkom subsidiaries. Maybe we usually call it CFU, right? And then maybe you can explain about what kind of collaboration that you already implemented between your independent technology and the Telkom subsidiaries. Maybe.
Okay, so since the beginning that we are joining to Indigo, that's I think we get a lot of value from Telkom as a corporation and a government state company. So basically, Telkom is a very huge company. I never know that Telkom also have a company that, you know, doing like satellite internet, something like that, and, you know, doing like awesome things. So during during my incubation in Indigo, I discovered a lot of things. So one of them is basically we do like digital transformation for some of the telecom subsidiary. Basically, they use like, you know, old business model like brick and mortar. So we help them to transform using our platform into more modern digital like company. So Telkom also have a connection with not only Telkom itself, but also others government state company. And then we also have a chance to work with them like, you know, Pegadaian, Angkasa Pura, and also others government on-site company that we're doing a lot of interesting things. But mainly what we are doing with them is actually in the big data sector.
Can you elaborate more about how you will help? Can you explain the digital transformation that you help all of these companies?
So one of them is actually telecom subsidiary that have a yellow pages, right? So that's a very interesting and straightforward stories. So basically, in the 90s, Yellow Pages is very popular platform to look in phone number, something like that. So you know, it's really book. It's really yellow. It's literally yellow. And then in the era of digital right now, nobody use that anymore. And the company is uh, back in maybe 20 years ago is very big in the nation, and now the market share of the yellow goods is shrinking and shrinking. So what we're doing is with our big data platform, we transform them not to become a digital company instead. Instead of only selling paper like yellow pages, we transform their website, we transform their mobile application. So bottom line, we use our data pipeline technology and machine learning to bring them into market instead of just selling books. It's more like a SME, digital SME enabler. So like small and medium businesses enabler for, you know, B2B2C, something like that. So and it's been great performance in the last years.
Okay, it's interesting. So you help Telkom subsidiaries that still doing like conventional job or something, and then you help them to transform into the digital era. Okay, interesting. And then now, Mr. Sony, how about you? What kind of collaboration that you are doing with Telkom?
Okay, after we joined the Indigo, first, the first question is why we joined Indigo. Because we truly realize that our startup, consider a startup. Startups means we have limited resources, limited network, and then we see Telecom have more than 1,000 how many around Indonesia, and then more than 60 subsidiary company, 20 segment of enterprise unit, and then I think that's what can say, that's a huge organization, and then very wide opportunity if we can collaborate with them through new incubator. After 2014, we already B2B partnership with
telecom company, and then what we collaborate with telecom, of course, about top line. I think the good way to penetrate the market, just using a big vehicle, not my own self. So right now, we established a partnership with uh, four telecom regional from four from seven telecom regional in around Indonesia, and then of course with telecom subsidy also, and then the enterprise division. So it's about to deliver our product to market.
Okay, thank you. Now the next question is maybe quite more sensitive because is it hard to like have a collaboration with? I mean, what's the challenge? What's the biggest challenge that you faced when you want to like have collaboration with a big company like Telkom and their subsidiaries? Sorry.
Okay. That's all. Because right now, one system not only collaborate with a platform only for the company, because we also collaborate with the other business partners. In one system, we define for partnership is firstly application partnership, and then distribution partnership, delivery partnership, and then the infrastructure partnership. Uh, that so that we facing not a problem with the big company because we are a startup. But if we know every partnership have a same goal, if we know that what they want, if we know about how to deliver and then ensure the good quality of delivery to customer, enterprise customer, I think tiny problem can be solved. So the point is the communication. What really company want to partnership with us. So I think after 2 years collaboration with Telkom, we confirm to continue the partnership.
Okay, how about you, Bastian?
So I think it's a lot of public misunderstanding about working with a state-owned company. Uh, for startup point of view, my friend something like that, so they feel that working with a state-owned company, including Telkom, is really hard. But it's been changing a lot, especially when we are joining Indigo in 2015. So Indigo itself is not only a incubator, but also they provide us with a contact person with the department which we can contact and working together. And then our experience collaborating with Telkom is, I think it's very smooth and easy. So, and I agree with Pak Sony that it's depending on your goals basically. If we have, something like mutual goal that benefit both us, Telkom, and the stakeholder of the subsidiary, it will be very easy. So, sure, there will a lot of bureaucracy there, but that's fine because it's the responsibility of our state-owned company to become compliant with the regulation or something like that. So I think it's fine. Yeah.
You said that working with Telkom is quite easy, but how about when you want to have collaboration with other companies outside Telkom? Is it have you faced some kind of hardware problem
Actually, no.
that you can share?
No, actually no. So basically, the collaboration with the top level management is very easy. So, and as long as we have the same goals, we can go follow through. But the problem sometimes is not in the idea, it, not in the blueprint, not in the goals, but the problem is more like in the execution because the state-owned company has very huge amount of employee, maybe 10,000 of them, and then coordinating with different department, different people, different PIC is very difficult. But that's doable, I think. Yeah.
So the key is focus on the similar goal and how you communicate with your potential partner. Okay. Now the next question is how do you find the more suitable potential partner? I mean, okay, now you already collaborate with Telkom, but how about if you are a very young company, very young startup that you want to collaborate with some partner out there, and how you choose? Do you choose like the bigger one first or the smaller one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're a small startup and then join Indigo. That's the easiest part to have access to telecom and others state-owned company because in state-owned company the funny fact is actually telecom that board of director can go to Pegadaian, go to Angkasa Pura, something like that, and you can have reach all of those people. And the second thing is actually focusing on the business that really matters for operation. For example, that right now everybody in government, in private sector, looking into digital transformation. What I mean by that is a digitalization of their data, digitalization of their business process, digitalization of anything that they have to create efficient business process. And that's a challenge, but also a very good opportunity for everybody in a startup sector. So practically, if you can solve certain problem within that digital transformation issue, then you can go and talk to bigger players.
Okay, so your advice is first join Indigo, and if not, you have to focus on create business that really matter for some corporation. So you can have like an easier way to have collaboration. Okay, how about you, Sunny? Different answer, please.
Yeah, okay. What I mentioned before that our aim to collaborate with a company like Telkom, not only Telkom, is to help us to leverage our business of course. We also focus on two parameters about the P&L and the cash flow. What can help us in two kind of KPI, increase our sales revenue or increase our net profit or make a better cash flow. So when we want to leverage our business, of course we must partnership with other company like a telecom or a big other company. So we just three big company in different sector. And then, of course, Telkom is the one big telecommunication and complete product. You just say what or what kind of a solution I think Telkom can deliver. And then, because my experience before in startup, sometimes I always see the financial report first. I see what the three big company in Whitefield, and then just follow the team, and then because I fully understand my system is a very small and start company to our, and then we think if we want to change the world, but not realize that we are a small company. I think I I have a big responsibility for my team. So Telkom, and then we also try to collaborate with another state-owned company in Indonesia, and then yeah, we just to try to partnership with the three big company and what it can help us in two kind perspective, the P&L or the cash flow.
So your trick is find maybe three or more big companies in every sector and try to have a collaboration with them. And then you hope that it can help you to expand to other space. Okay, so I think it's a very interesting discussion, but I think our time is up. So maybe you can, to close this panel, I want to like imagine that if you can go back to the beginning, to the time when you began your startup, what things that you want to change at that time? Yeah.
So I'm not the kind of person that really think about going back and thinking about how about this, how about that. So, honestly, I cannot answer that question. So, Covera Volantis has been very great in the last couple of years, and we are growing from 4 people to 60 people, and with the team in Indonesia, in Australia, in Bangalore, and also in Silicon Valley. Right now, we believe that we have no, uh, we have we have no better than this. We cannot better than this.
Yeah, you have no, no regret.
Yeah, we have no regret. So yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah.
Okay, great answer. So, Sony?
I've done one decision. Okay, what I did my decision before because I think if I have a chance to make a better decision is why I don't join the program 2016. That's it. Because very huge opportunity, very huge opportunity. That's why I think sometimes I'm very confused if some startup offer to collaborate with a big company because we not will be get some problem. We just get another learning potential. Then sometimes if I see, oh, that's a good point if we can handle the challenge, not to pivot or give away with the problem. So I think why I don't join the program 1 year before. That's
Okay, thank you, Sony. Thank you, Bhatia. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for all the panelists here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next, I will give the stage back to the MC, Rati. Please.
Thank you, Adita. Oh, wait, we will give you a token appreciation from Indigo Day, and we would like to invite Mr. Ari Erigunta. Would you please give a token of appreciation for Mr. Sony and Bhatia? Thank you very much for Mr. Eri Punta. And thank you also for Mr. Sony and Mr. Bahtiar. Well, after the panel discussion, now we have a fireside chat. Well, this is very interesting because this keynote speaker will be accompanied by our friend also Aditya Hadi. And we will talk about how MDI Venture is supporting Indigo Creative Nation. So we would like to invite Mr. Joshua Agusta, Head of Portfolio MDI Ventures, to come on stage.
Okay, I'm back again. Welcome, Joshua. Hey.
Okay, now it's on.
Okay, how are you doing?
Doing well, man.
We
How are
good?
you?
Okay. So, Joshua is from MDI Ventures, is one of the venture capital
Yep.
from Telkom organization. Maybe Joshua, I want to begin this fireside chat. I want to give the opportunity for you to explain. Maybe some of them here not really know about what is MDI Ventures and how your portfolio criteria. And, yeah, maybe you can explain. Please.
Okay. So MDI Ventures is basically a new company. We were established back, I think, back in 2015, and we made our first investments back in 2016. So we're a pretty young company. It's a corporate VC arm of Telkom Indonesia. So what we do is Telkom allocate $100 million from its balance sheet for us to invest into digital companies, startups all across the globe for 4 years. So basically, we kind of deploy 25 million per year for 4 years. I think right now it's our third year. We have 28 companies right now in our portfolios, and we have invested our fund into 9 countries right now, into multiple stages. So basically, this is part of, I think, part of the Telkom's initiative in its open innovation. Indigo is part of it, and MDI. We will say that because Telkom requires, not necessarily requires, but Telkom would like to rejuvenate its own business because Telkom business is pretty much waiting because of the data and technology and digital in particular. So that's why we are investing into companies that can really bring that sort of rejuvenation into Telkom in multiple sectors.
28 startups
28 startups.
in 9 countries.
9 countries.
9 countries. Give a big round of applause for MDI Ventures. It's like a local venture capital, right? And then you invest in startups in various countries.
Yeah.
Okay, can you mention some of the notable startups that you have invested recently?
Well, I think from Indigo, there are some actually from Indigo because some of our team members are helping the program as well. So we sort of co-manage that with Telkom Group in managing the program. So there are some Indigo graduates that we have invested our money into. So for example, Opera is one of them. PBID, I think I already mentioned that in the keynote. PFAS, the Y Combinator graduate, and also Goers, the ticketing platform. So those are the Indigo graduates. I think the latest deals that we have made and announced from Indonesia, Credivo, Finaxel, the buy now pay later kind of stuff, and then Robi, an IoT company from the US, Whisper, communication platform as a service from Australia. What else? I think we've just closed CXA Group from Singapore. It's a health tech, insurtech startups. So most of them are in the range of Series A and Series B stage. So it's a early stage, growth stage kind of thing. So yeah, we would like to focus more on that particular spot.
Okay, interesting. There is a very interesting story from when I want to write a funding report for Tech in Asia. I like organize the report and I try to collect all of the data of the startup, of Indonesian startup that get funding in a certain year. And when I publish the article, then Pak Nico, CEO of MDI, just called me. Adit, why MDI? We invest in a lot of startup. Why you don't put us as the #1 startup in Indonesia? Pak, I collect only Indonesian startup, and your portfolio is, many of them are global companies. Is there any reason why MDI Ventures, the local venture capital, now want invest in a lot of startup from abroad?
Well, there's the problem with the scale, actually, the scale of the companies. So #1 is about that. So basically, when we try to find some deals in Indonesia, most of them, this is back in 2015, 2016, right? Most of them are still in their seed stage, or at least pre-A, let's say. None of them has really crested into Series A round that much at that time. So we have a thesis that because we're looking for synergy with the group, the Telkom Group, and Telkom Group is obviously a giant SOE in Indonesia. We have a thesis that actually, in order to build a smart and good synergy, we cannot invest in, I don't know how to say this, but cash poor startup. So we always think that at least they need to have $1 million before they can really build a fruitful synergy with Telkom Group. So a lot of people kind of misconstrued synergy with vendoring. So this is a venturing, not a vendoring, right? So usually a lot of people say that when the startup sell products to Telkom and Telkom buy them, it's a synergy. We don't think that's the case. So what synergy for us is that startups kind of build something together with Telkom Group and then build your business outside of the group to build a quality revenue. That's how our CFO put that, quality of revenue coming from outside the group, not necessarily just inside the group. So that's the first thesis of why we always, not necessarily always, but most of our companies are coming from global because their scale are pretty much higher. And number two is about the tech stack, technology stack. Most of our companies, honestly speaking, in Indonesia right now, in terms of technology, are not solid. A lot of them are still like handicrafts, or what we call them hasta karya in Indonesia, right? Hasta karya tech, sort of. It's not necessarily a full-scale stack in terms of technology. We hardly find that back in 2016, 2017. However, though, a lot of core unicorns in Indonesia has really incentivized and also invited a lot of big money to come into Indonesia, and then we are going to see, in our opinion at least, a lot of Indonesian companies going bigger, closing their Series B and with multiple, tens of millions of dollars coming into those companies, Indonesia-based companies. And I think that in the future we will see more Indonesian deals coming up in our pipeline. Yeah.
So how you invest in the near future is still be like that, or you see some trend that okay, we need to change, we need to maybe invest in more Indonesian, or maybe.
No, our thesis is this is how the way we work is we take a look at the problems that our group has in each of their units, each of their division, or in every CFE. That's how we call it. And then we start from there and look for the companies that can necessarily improve their process, improving the value chain of the company. So if we find, we always try to invest at least to the number one or number two companies in the market for that particular category, right? Unless, if we don't do that, why will we invest anyway? So, we try to look at number one and number two. If they are coming from Indonesia, it's good. We will definitely invest into them. But if they are coming from, for example, US companies with emerging market angle, we also open to that. So there's no target of how many Indonesian startups that we will invest in anytime soon.
You don't really care about where they come from, but you focus on the problem.
Always focus on the problem that the group has, and always on the growth of our group and the improvement of the process.
But maybe if there is a potential startup from Indigo, you have a
definitely for sure. That's one of the reasons why we are trying to help Telkom to run the program too, to pay a closer look to these seed startups, because Indigo is the largest program in the country right now. Most of the seed startups are in that program in Indonesia, so of course we need to take a look at that and pay attention closely to that to the development of the program. Yeah.
Talking about the criteria of your investment, about the stage, about the amount, can you share about the minimum investment and why you choose that kind of rate, lower and higher?
So we usually invest in $1 to $5 million US. We actually can do up to 15 million. I think around 15% our fund, but usually investments above 5 million is quite tricky in terms of bureaucracy and process. And in order to be able to close deal into good startups in today's ecosystem, in today's market, you need agility. So we won't necessarily invest above 5 million at least until now. So that's why we pick that particular space, that particular number, in that particular range, because we think between those numbers, with the valuation of let's say 50 million to 100 million US dollars, we can get I think 3 to 10% for the first initial investments in terms of equity. And then because we are a multi-stage investors, we can invest in multiple stages, not just A, not just B, but up to pre-IPO before the exit. We can top up at least up to 20% or 25% in some cases. So that's the reason why. And in terms of sectors, I think because Telkom's business is at multiple spectrums, I can say. So our investment landscape is pretty large and pretty wide in terms of sectors. So we have, marketing technology like Opera right now, they're evolving into big data. We have also, up to space technologies. We have one company in the US called Orbital. It's like the ride sharing for satellites, actually. And why we invest in that? Because Telkom has a satellite company. So, a lot of dynamics and a lot of landscape we can explore actually.
Okay, interesting. So you said that when you want to invest in a startup, you focus on the problem. So your aim is to connect it with Telkom or Telkom subsidiaries, right? True. Is there any challenge? Can you share any challenge, like big challenge, big problem that you face that happen when you want to connect? Okay, we have invested in this certain company, in certain startup, and when you want to connect it with the Telkom subsidiaries, you face some problems.
Usually, number one is the problem of culture, because especially for startups coming from overseas or from the Western world, they're usually very direct, like blah blah blah, doing business. One day, one meeting, two meetings done. It's not the way we do business in Indonesia, especially in stable enterprises, right? Just to be frank. Sometimes they don't get the idea of those, for example, at front. So usually that sort of cultural thing, and the way we mitigate that is we have a synergy team, dedicated synergy team for us to be able to mediate all the conversations between startups and also Telkom Group and Telkom Group subsidiaries. And I think number two is actually coming from internal, Telkom's internal side, because usually, all Telkom's personnel are entitled to their KPIs. When sometimes, there are new programs coming in, it's not necessarily related to the KPI. I mean, in a bigger scale, it can really help Telkom, at the strategic level. All the directors, all the, VPs maybe do that. But when we talk to the operators, the executors, middle managers, they usually entitled to their KPIs, and they always think that this won't help my KPI. Sometimes things like that happen. So usually the synergy will face some problems in that dynamic. So the way we do that is to just mitigate across, because sometimes when a startup cannot work with subsidiary A, it can't necessarily work with subsidiary C. It's just exploring and just keep digging what sort of problems you can solve for that particular startup. Yeah.
So the key is you have to focus on the culture. Yeah. Maybe the culture is different, so how you manage all of it, and then you have to also know the target or maybe the KPI of the client that you want to approach, yeah. And maybe you will get away of it. Yeah. Okay, and then maybe for a new startup, maybe a lot of new startup is they was born and then they don't know what they want to do and how they can help big companies like Telkom. And you said that you only focus on startup that can help Telkom. Yep. So is there any way for them to approach you? Okay, how they will approach you if they don't really know how they can help Telkom?
Well, if they don't really know, we can try to create a conversation firstly, because we also realize that these from our experience, startups are constantly evolving. I mean, sometimes we never see Gojek as a paper company before, but right now they are. So startups constantly evolving. So what we do is if it's a potential startup, but not necessarily in our appetite right now, because that's not the direction the Telkom is going to take anytime soon in the horizon. We usually put a radar on them, pay a close contact, and then when they have a pivot or maybe they've added something that can really help our businesses or maybe part of our business, we will definitely have further chat. Again, that's the benefit of our thesis of investing in multiple stages too. Because when we skip the Series A because of the synergy problem, Series B when they have built something for Telkom's benefits in the future, we can definitely put our money into it.
Okay. Now I want to like focus on Indigo designation. Indigo incubator and accelerator. You as the head of portfolio in NDFH, I think you already see like sound like a lot of startup from Indigo, right? And you see some of them get success, and some of them don't have get the success right now. Is there any advice from you how a startup can get a benefit, like the maximum benefit from incubator accelerator like Indigo, so they can success like their other startup?
So I think from our success story, I mean, some of them have really received investments from from institutional and I think prominent institutional investors outside of Telkom Group. Our key learnings is that Telkom is a very good stamp of legitimacy for them. So I mean, I think if we go to one of the example, PPID, they're building an electronic signature service provider, basically, right? And it's a legal thing. So when you don't have Telkom's type of legitimacy, no one will trust them to be the singular provider of electronic signature, right? But when they say that, oh, Telkom has used our services, that's a good thing. That's a good, proof of concept that actually their innovation works, and that's where the future is going to be heading to. So I think by utilizing that sort of, always depends on the idea. I mean, you really have to generalize that, but in case by case basis, startups can really use Telkom as their part of their stuff for them to be able to grow. So that's part of it.
So they have to think like the what benefit that I can get the most, but maybe for the least they can get some kind of legitimacy from Telkom and they can sell their product to other companies.
Yeah, and also the room to grow. I mean, for example, if another success story is not coming from Indigo, but it's coming from our portfolio at AI. I mean, they pivoted to from actually yes once, right, the B2C thing to B2B, right, into AI. I mean, it's a good thing that they have us Telkom Group backer because they can say to their next investors that actually Telkom can really open a lot of doors for clients, new potential clients, because Telkom has served actually all those state of enterprise banks, for example, or maybe the government institutions, things like that. And Kata can really, Kata AI can really penetrate those kind of markets which they have never tapped before. And they cannot really tap that market without network, which is because it's very hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to talk with you, but I think our time is so short right now. So yeah, so maybe you can give. There are a lot of new startups here. Maybe you can give some kind of final advice or big suggestion for them how to like continue their journey in the startup world. Maybe they have to like pursue collaboration with the companies, or maybe you can.
I mean, those most of the startups here are early stage, right?
Yeah.
So for early stage, I think just focus on validation. That's very very important work. By joining accelerators program or maybe receiving funding from solid seed investor in the region. It's not just about the money; it's about the validation that you need to achieve. Be it customer validation, market validation, whatever. So basically, just focus on that. Focus on validating the products that you have. Focus on validating the markets that you have. And then when you have that solid traction and retention, the group of customer where you find a niche, then basically you can grow. And when you grow in state, basically, when you have received the product market fit in our language, that's where investors will definitely come to you. So just never really focus on fundraising because a lot of startups are doing fundraising because it is cool, quote unquote. It's not actually. It's really expensive. It's really horrifying and tiring actually. So never focus on fundraising, receiving money from investors, but focus on developing the products, finding niche and grow. And investors will come to you. So basically that's
okay. Don't focus on fundraising, but focus on validation and creating best products.
Yes.
Okay, really bold statement, Joshua. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Joshua Gusta, head of portfolio from MBA Ventures. And next, I will give the stage back to my friend Rati. Please, Rati.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua, and we would like to invite Mr. Eric Punta to get back on the stage to give a token of appreciation. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric Punta, and thank you, Mr. Joshua. Now we will continue the event to the most exciting part. This afternoon we will have pitching. So to start off pitching today, we will have 7 startups. Each startup will have 5 minutes to pitch. And I would like to remind we have 7 startups, and each startup will have 5 minutes to pitch. And we'd like to remind all of you to log into slido.com. So slido.com, and you can vote and give feedback for each startup that pitched today. Everyone will get 7 minutes to pitch. Right? Okay. Each startup will have 7 minutes to pitch. So for the first startup, please give applause to the stage. Sonic Boom.
Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, actually, everyone. We are from Sonic Group. So right now, most of us has smartphones, and it's basically transformed the way we do things. And at the end of the day, it's also consumed us the way that we are not aware of. It's more like we are being disconnected in a connected world. Basically, we are connected to everyone, but then we're disengaged on the world surrounds us. So what happened? There's a lot of people that is trying to engage with us, and we just can't. So many people are in a public space. They're just moving around, strolling around in the malls. They're strolling around in the theater, and they're just sticking their eyes in their phones. And those people are, and sometimes a lot of people spend so much money on their offline market and they can't reach you. And then for us, the users of the smartphone, sometimes we can't even see what's going on and we're being disengaged. So leading from this problem, there are a lot of existing solutions that the technology already provides to us. The most and basic one is the SMS blast. So how many of you get SMS by 1 get 1 free, this be free? Most of the time, if you are a telecom cell phone provider, especially, and the problem with that, the range is unknown. You are getting it somewhere out of nowhere, and you're getting it somewhere in the malls that is right across that you don't even want to go. The second one you can deliver through Wi-Fi. It's all hassle. It's a hassle to get your password in. And it's very expensive for retailers to put Wi-Fi access points everywhere because it requires a lot of configurations. The third one, Bluetooth. Again, we need pairing. Of course, you still can hit, but it's still hit and miss. Depending on our research and our partners that done Bluetooth technology, only 30% of users actually turn on their Bluetooth. So those 70% are unreachable. And NFC, NFC, of course, you have to be very close. You have to tap it. And the last one, QR. You can deliver data from QR, but then again, we done our playful games that actually we can tag the QR. So you can print a QR anything the way you want it, and you can you don't know where you are going to. So that is kind of problem, as there's a security problem with that. So that's why we create a new data channel, how to deliver some message. They call it Sonic Boom. We patent that technology, and the way we do it is we transmit data through speakers. So basically, everyone has a phone that has microphone that's always on. So we utilize that, and we use speakers to push the data. So what is it like? It's like I'm sending data to a song. So basically, it's like you're hearing things, but the phones are actually hearing you. What is our value proposition for this? It's because it's a short to medium range approach. Because the data can only travel as far as the sound can travel, depending on the volume. That means the range you can arrange how far you want to go. And it works on existing hardware. Basically, audio system is everywhere. We secure it, it's end-to-end, and it's very easy to integrate. We don't have an app. And to have us installed in your system, we only require about 10 lines of code. Further reach that we can do, actually we can reach your private car. What it means is we work with radio stations, so when you are driving, you're listening to radio, we can push data to you. Even in your private home, we can do that also from 3D stations. So those are the companies that we are doing, and of course analytics. Several value propositions that we identify for our partners, which is the current one that right now that we are working on is the one-to-many. What it means is we are working with speakers to many phones. So retailers, chain stores, TVs, radio stations, and also we can do indoor locations depending on the way where the device is in. The next one, we are going to one-to-one use case, which is more like the authentications. So we can do it like the audio QR. This is the companies that we are working with right now. The numbers are quite not bad. We are engaging with them. We are integrating, and we are supposedly live at the end of the year on all these people. So our business model is very simple. It's to broadcast. The web website is free, but then our activations we charge some small fees and subscription as always. And then at the end we work with the companies. We do analytics and we can share the data with them. These are the different players, but it's quite different. It's quite different than we have right now in the world. We are the first one in Asia actually. The team is quite unique. I'm from a deep tech background. I was in research a lot. I do a lot of hardware and DARPA projects, and with my co-workers, the crazy guy with the gaming experience. So for some reason we work together. So we've done a lot of we've been friends for 13 years. We used to have we do a lot of business together for 6 years. So the trust is there. And with our advisor, we have about 40 years of production experience. US in the IoT business. Where do we go from here? So our primary focus for this end of the year and next year is actually we want to execute our products that we have in the pipeline. And since our technology is patented, we want to actually further add the patent to worldwide. So we have identified several countries that we want our product to be patented. Our short and medium term vision is basically this is where we are. We are here right now. We just closed our round around 2 months ago, 2 to 3 months ago, and we want to execute as many as we can. And of course, in 2019, we want to focus on regional expansions, and that's why we made the worldwide patent. And we're looking to raise fund around beginning of next year. So I think that's it for us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Indigo. I would like to remind everyone to go to slido.com and please take a poll there because we have 5 questions about Indigo, whether if you're interested or not in their presentation, and also if you want to have a speed dating with them, we will invite you to the speed dating area in the startup area, just right beside this stage. So, and after that, we will invite you the second startup to pitch. We have Plus. Please welcome Plus to the stage.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Um, so, okay. So where's my class? We're creating a very good video analytics platform. We create a machine can do the pretty visual just like human being. So understand object and then counting, given some rules like illegal parking, trash in the river, and then face recognition, license plate recognition, route behavior, route estimation, and so on. By this visualization, you can think that many implementation can be done using this kind of solution for press and for vehicle. Even on the right side, on the right side from you, we count Gojek and Grab in the world to understand the market competition between them. So actually, we start from imagination into the real implementation. We see already. And you hear that a lot. Actually, there's price recognition. What we implement in sort of Sumatra, in Palembang, in the Polda, regional police. So once the targeted person of the blacklist or the blacklist person is being captured, and then in the comment center is alerted that person is identified using the system. So back to the from imagination to real implementation. We start from the whole, just like the Fast and Furious. We see the God's Eye and also the movie God's Eye and then Mission Impossible. They use this kind of technology to capture the bad guy and then maybe some of the meter again. And then currently, this kind of technology is not a dream anymore, but it's already implemented. And actually, in Indonesia, we already began with the police institution. And this one, other than the smart city and then the security and defense, we also can provide solution for data analysis or market research analysis. This one we identify as a Grab or Gojek within a certain part of road, and then we deploy hundreds in Jakarta. And for the next round, we will roll out into another big cities in Indonesia. So this one is what I want to tell you about the wave of AI. I think a lot of you already get the feel that AI is coming into implementation. Even if you see the news, it's everybody talks about the AI, about deep learning also. So I'll skip this slide. And how we work is we don't sell the CCTVs, but we sell the application, the platform that running on the server behind the solid agnostic. We can use any kind of CCTVs as long as they use the current standard protocol using on-field and PSP or SCTP using MGPAC. And then what we are in the Indonesia position, we are the first in certain specific achievement. We are the first IPA company from Indonesia, I can assure you that. And then we are the first inception member. NVIDIA is the most usage hardware GPU for AI. 90% in the world is using NVIDIA. And in 2015, they are looking for startups all around the world that doing deep learning for practicals, and we are the first member from Indonesia, and currently still the only one that provides intelligent analytics. And also, we are in the progress to become the Metropolis Partner Program, that is global partner from NVIDIA. Also, we are the first that doing integration with Dukcapil data or citizen data, which consists of 180 million citizen data. And this is the big achievement and historical in Indonesia, because we are the first, not other foreign company, but Indonesia can do it all. This one, several implementation in police and market research. Also, we have several partnership and collaboration with Telkom. The Jasa Marga is also, we are collaborating with Telkom. And also the last one is for welcoming apps, also with Telkom Pins. So if the employee come to the office, it will say, hello, Andy, hello, Mandy, good afternoon, something like that. The industry implementation actually very broad for agriculture, for the healthcare, using technologies, we can create many kind of solution. But for us, right now, we are focusing highly on defense and security and smart city, also smart analytics and financing, and for the traffic management. For the opportunity itself, I want to give you illustration that this intelligent technologies that using complex topology for the city deployment is really in the early phase in Indonesia. I give you numbers in Bandung and Surabaya. The Kominfo, the Department of Information, is only have like 600 of CCTVs in their area. Bandung, Surabaya. Semarang only 100. For another comparison, Plaza Indonesia, which is not a city but a mall, is have like 200 CCTVs within the mall. So cities would have less CCTV than one mall. And then Jakarta is the have the highest ranked number in Indonesia. They have 7,000 CCTVs, and then they are aiming to become 60K in this current government. But compared to Singapore on the, what is it, on the, just like police or the transportation have 300K of CCTVs, and in Shenzhen, in Lingang City, even it's not a city, it's a district, they have 800K of CCTVs. This number tells you that we are really in the early phase. Our company phase is well in the phase well ahead of the technology, the implementation. This is not about the euro transfer code, but it's really complicated deployment, and we are already ahead of it. And the financial terms, actually, we have a long runway. We currently not in the rush for fundraising, but we're really pleased, we are really welcome to have a talk with you, to understand more about you, and we understand more about us. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. So ladies and gentlemen, please go to slido.com and take a poll if you want to support NoFox. If you want to have speed dating with NoFox, we will invite you to the startup area after this session. We will have 5 questions in the Slido. So you can input your name, your contact numbers, and emails. It only takes you a minute to fill up the forms. Okay, and for the next startup to pitch, we will invite you on stage. Please welcome Jasa Connect.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ravi. I'm from Jasa Connect. So if you look at the world today, there's a lot of companies that need to go online. You know, if they don't make this change, basically they're going to be extinct. So this is very important, especially for field service companies. Field service companies, if they don't make this change, they will be extinct. And Jasa Connect here makes this change seamless. Our role here is to make the change seamless for these companies. If you look at the research out there, there's actually only 8% of companies out there actually that utilize the internet the best way possible. This is actually a very big opportunity. There's actually a lot of examples over there that companies are actually online, but they do not use this to expand their operations and also to give the best value service as possible. We have done a survey of 500 SMEs, and based on our survey, we can see that a lot of companies actually lose orders. They lose orders. Around 30% of these orders are being lost because of the traditional way of receiving orders. This is not just an SME problem, it's also an enterprise problem. As you can see here, there's a lot of customers that are not happy because of the lack of tools available. So what does this amount to? This amounts to basically the problems that this amounts to is because of the lack of tools available, because of the lack of tools for order management and field management. It becomes expensive and time consuming to accept these orders. There is absolutely no transparency to manage these orders, and it's not efficient. So what we have come up with is basically a plug and play approach, which is able to, if you're a company that dabbles in the field management industry, with plug and play, you can plug it into our ecosystem, and you can basically enjoy these features. So basically, you can the orders that are coming in can be into the order management system, and these orders are being dispatched to the various field management, to the various field personnel by distance, by location, and by skill set. There is also a live update there, which means that there is reinforced transparency, and service providers can basically see all of the things that are going on in the remote areas. We enforce this by empowering the SMEs to be able to grow in multiple locations, be able to increase the quality of their services, and to focus less on admin stuff and more into helping with the SOPs and processes and training, which means we can give a better value for this company. Our traction, we have basically connected over 330 SMEs as of now, and we have 8,600 field personnel in our system, and we have achieved over 200K revenue in the last 1 year. These are some of the companies that we have worked together with. We have just worked together with one of the big boys, Astra, and we are planning to deploy over 10 different services for the on-demand. So as you can see, we have a range of clients from SMEs all the way to brands and enterprises. This is the customer segment. So we have a sweet spot basically for the SMEs, basically companies with more than 30 technicians or mobile personnel. But there's actually a wide range of industries. There is service repair, surveyor, construction, house inspection, and many more. So we have this at the tip of the iceberg. The market for Indonesia is $600 million as of now. It's expected to grow to 1.16 billion by 2022, and globally is a $3.5 billion market, expected to be at $6.6 billion in 2022. Our target is to hit $2 billion by 2020, and this is actually enforced by our strong business model. This is for Indonesia alone. So our business model, as you can see, is more into focus for light and professional, and this is more for the SMEs. So light basically focuses more into smaller tier SMEs, and professional for the larger tier SMEs that requires more customized solutions. We're going to deploy our enterprise solutions for selected clients only, and this is based on an interview process. We are made up of a solid team. I'm the CEO. I have extensive experience in the business world. I've actually built 2 companies. I've grown an education company to 25 branches, and also a coffee company to 80 branches. Our CTO has a decade worth of experience building HRM and CRM systems, and he's also the head of PHP Indonesia, and we have a strong mobile development team and also a solid UX team, which is supported by our strong sales team. They actually use the sales funnel to perfection. If you look at our competitive quadrant, most of our competitors are very well funded, which shows the potential of this market. However, Jasa Connect has a very unique, they're pretty unique in their own way. So we actually combine field management on demand and marketplace to have that unique outlook. Okay, so basically what's the opportunity? So we actually just at the tip of the iceberg. It's a huge market. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to hit the Asia Pacific market, and we need to make our product more competitive and to focus and refine our sales funnel, which will make it shorten our sales cycle so that we can achieve a growth in sales, a massive growth in sales. So we expect to maybe hit the Asia Pacific market and hit $20 million by 2022. Thank you very much for your time. I'm available for any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget to go to slido.com and put the event code Indigo Day, so you can participate in callings if you want to support Jasa Connect, and other startups. There will be 5 questions, and you can fill them. And you can also make a speed dating engagement with them in the startup area right next to the stage after the session. Okay, so for the next startup, we will invite on stage. Please welcome Authentic North.
So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muksit. We protect brands against counterfeit products. At first, I would like to tell you a story. A few years ago, my best friend has a very successful life and successful business because he has a situation in which his brand has a lot of followers. We protect brands against everything changed when somebody tried to copy his product and sell to the market at a 5 times cheaper price. And I was disappointed because I cannot help it. At the time, also there is no solution to find situation in which this brand has a lot of followers. Reality is to be able to change. When somebody tries to bring his product from and sell to the market at a 5 times price, and I was disappointed because I cannot help it. At the time, also there is no solution to find situation in which this brand has a lot of followers. Reality is to be able to change. And also brings in Mexico and also unique holograms. What they need to do is really simple. So we partner with brands to create unique codes on every product, and we just need to use our apps to scan the codes to get notified that the product is Mexico, and they get satisfaction from using unique products. How do we get the money from that? We monetize brand package a packet of this. It can be as small as a packet of 100 codes and can be as many as 100,000 codes. The project that we are currently doing right now. And if they want to have their own app, their own anti-counterfeit app, we can white label them. We get the money from setup fee as well as the maintenance fee every month. So we get so much money from all these business models. Competition, we have a regional competition. One is in Shanghai. The name is Visual Leads. They are being invested for $5 million by Alibaba. Alibaba has invested in them. But their main focus is not to protect the authenticity of the product, but the main focus is to beautify the QR codes. So if you see the QR codes that they have, there will be an angry bird on top of that, and it's so beautiful. And there is one in Australia. But in Australia, it's very expensive. And Entropy. Entropy is so unique. They just focus on handbags. Handbags only, like Louis Vuitton, and they are only focused on US market at the moment. And there is us. We focus on all kinds of industries, all kinds of products that can be introduced to mass markets, and that's our strength at the moment. So we have a lot of brands are protected, 100 brands. And from what I discovered from my interaction from the clients, they can also increase in sales. They have increased 20 to 50% in sales because of using our solution in fighting against counterfeit apps and counterfeit activities. Most of these are in patients. So the first 2 years, we only focus on patient industries, and in the next 2 years, we focus on more kind of industries. So, of course, the first 2 years only focus on patient, but other kind of industries are approaching us. We partner with Telkom for the Gula project for the movement of rice. And a few months ago, a global brand, it's a 100-year-old brand called Merz. It's from Germany. They contact me. The problem with Merz is that somebody in China, they counterfeit the products of Merz. They sell it in Indonesia market, and they sell it to the market at a 4 times cheaper price. What makes them really sad is that Merz products are high quality, and the counterfeit products are low quality and sell at a 4 times cheaper price. So what happens to them? They suffer a big loss in reputation and a big loss in revenue. After we help them, we currently doing project in Indonesia, but after we're successful, Merz already told us that our solution will be used in other countries, 5 other countries in Southeast Asia. That's what Merz agreed to do with us. And the Merz is a ultra therapy cosmetic industry, by the way. And then this is we partner also with Backcraft. I met with the deputy director of Backcraft. This is a very important milestone for us. So Backcraft in the 2019, they would like to support us. So they would like as many as small medium enterprise in Indonesia to use our solutions. And what happens if they cannot pay? If they cannot pay, Backcraft will subsidize them. So, so our solution is very easy to use and very affordable for most people. And especially with Backcraft's help, we can go further. This is our solution. So I start my career, sales career at FedEx Express. Start from sales trainee, and my last position before I resign and start Authentic Guard, I work for Nasdaq-listed company from Europe. I work for sales in Southeast Asia as a sales director for them. And we have a support. My co-founder works for many years as an entrepreneur and good in operation, and Pfizer also in helping us use result. We have operation in Jakarta and Ho Chi Minh, and the next few years we would like to expand in Manila, Kuala Lumpur, and Bangkok. I think it's very feasible. So this is our revenue projection. So now, for the first 1.5 years of operation, we get about 100K, and we will get 1 million annual revenue in 2020. How do we make it possible? So we make it possible is really easy. What is successful in Indonesia, we will replicate it, and we will do the same thing in other Southeast Asian markets. And there will be bigger revenue, and there will be no much additional cost because we build the system in Indonesia. And we're asking for $1 million for make it possible for product development, for marketing to expand to other Southeast Asian countries. So let's fight against counterfeit activities. And if you have any questions, come talk to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Authentic Guard. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just go to slido.com and take a poll there about Authentic Guards. There are 5 questions in the poll, and you can also make an appointment for the speed dating with all the startups who pitched today. And the pitching, the speed dating will be in the startup area right next to the stage after this session. Okay, so the next startup to pitch, please invite to the stage Paket ID.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dika from Paket. All right. Today I'm going to introduce our application called Mine. It's a field-work management platform. So any business or enterprise that has field-work personnel will always face 3 major problems. The first one is that the data captured on the field, whatever they have gathered on the field, they have to input it manually back at the office. So open up an Excel, tedious paperwork, those kind of final works again. The other problem is there's no way for any supervisor or manager to track movement of their personnel. And the third problem is that it's difficult to manage their KPIs and SLAs in real time. And we aim to solve these problems. First, by digitalizing the data captured on the field using an application. Second, by tracking the movement of the personnel in real time. And manage the KPI using the power of big data. So we started out as a service to supply chain companies like JNA and TT. So we had delivery, pickup, and warehouse in one app, all the workflows. And then we continue into different kind of workflows. So it's a versatile workflow application where any users can create and edit their own workflows. Reimbursement, survey, sales, and many more limitless possibilities possible from our application. And then our dashboard can be customized according to any user needs. They can create their own widget, historical or real-time data, any kind of charts, pie, bar, metric, histogram, any kind of charts. We also have a module to track the personnel in real time. So grouping of couriers, grouping of personnel, to pair each group against each other if possible from our application. And then the historical stat and KPIs and SLAs every day or any time of the day. So the current traction for us is now we have 9,000 users on the field, in which we've grown from $30,000 US in 2016 to about $300,000 in 2018. That's 10 times the growth in the last 2 years. Yes, our app can be used in any field, in any business, since it's very versatile. But for the next 18 months, we aim to target these 4 sectors: logistics, retail, banking, and FMCG, in which our team has a lot of experience. Out of these 4 sectors, we're going to take only the top 30 companies in which we are, in which it's possible to get at least an average of $5,000 revenue per month from each company, getting us about $1.8 million revenue, annual recurring revenue in the next 8 months. The team, myself as CEO, and my brother Indra as the CTO, we've been working together for the past 10 years in many projects, and this is our current startup. So, entrepreneurially, we had funding in 2016 in the beginning by MDI, pre-seed funding, and we grew organically till today. And we are in the closing stage of our seed deal with Bond Angels from Korea. I think in a week or 2 we'll be closing the deal, and that money will be used to grow another 10 times. We've grown 10 times in the last 2 years. We're going to grow another 10 times in the next 2 years. That's what we're going to use the seed money for. In the middle, we are hoping to raise a Series A sometime in the mid-2019. In summary, we are a B2B SaaS company. We are profitable, we are organic, we are very efficient, and I think we can capture an innovation market in a very short time. I think that's all about it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Edi. So, ladies and gentlemen, just go to slido.com and input the event code Indigo Day to take a poll about Packet ID and other startups that pitched today. It will only take you a minute to finish 5 questions about the startups. Alright, so the next startup to pitch. Please welcome on stage, Bahaso.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. So, I want to introduce myself. And my name is Yovan. We are from Bahaso. Yeah, so we are a language learning platform that help Indonesian people to learn language easily. That's what I want to say. Yeah, so we started this platform since January 2015, and we now helping more than 300,000 people from around Indonesia, and then we have 55% of our active users. And average starting duration for the users on our platform around 20 minutes, and now we have until this 2018 we have 400 million our revenue. Because we starting to make the revenue starting this year earlier, and we help through our users. For this, for the market size, we have 55.5 million for math learning worldwide. And then in Indonesia, we have 12.2 billion for e-learning market, and we aim to have 10% from the market. And this is our business model. So we help our users so that they can learn on our platform through online interactive learning. That they can download our apps on iOS and Android, and then they can learn English. Now we have not only English but also Chinese. And yeah, about this model for the learning by content, we have subscription, so it's self-learning method. So we charge around 100,000 rupiah per month. And then for the second model, we partnering with Telkom Porco to help the startup companies employees in Indonesia to learn directly from Kerja Indonesia, which is now we still developing is platform, and then we sell it together with Telkom Porco. And this kind of model is revenue sharing. And then the one is we have IELTS and TOEFL preparation class. So we have students around Indonesia who wants to improve their score through our platform, and we charge average 500,000 rupiah per student. And then this is our team. We have Alana as our new CEO, and then we have Kelvin as CTO, Kevin our COO, and myself as commissioner. So thank you for this. Oh yeah, our question: we want to prepare business for globalization by using state-of-the-art content. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mahaso. Okay, so last but not least, first, please come to slider.com and input the event code Indigo Day, and please use the poll link here. There are 5 questions to poll, and you can support Mahaso or any startup that is today. You can only take 1 minute to take the survey, so it's very easy for you. So last but not least, let's welcome to the stage, Kiskas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm going to share you a story about the power of conversations. Conversations bring businesses closer to their end customers. Conversations help the police extend their ears to the ground. This is what we implemented in asset names at the moment, like fire detection. Conversations bring shopping to consumer fingertips. Conversations bring healthcare to the palms of millions. Conversations is the flow of funds to needy beneficiaries. Conversations remove silos and enable interactions across cities. Conversations remove the corporate customers gap. Today in Kiskas, we have enabled conversations in over 13 industries with 16 use cases from work and social life among our 300 companies in 12 countries in just 1 year. We are currently enabling over 4 million conversations, conversation over 4 million of our users in our platform, and we are able to facilitate up to 500,000 conversations. We are from Kiskas. It's our mission to enable conversations in any application. We are people that are very passionate in real-time communication technology. I'm the CEO. My name is Delta Panayodiaga. With the fellow 2 co-founders, we are currently a 40 people strength, primarily very strong impact. So when we talk about chat has become a necessity for all companies, for customer services, for being a platform, and for customer engagement. But the chat can be very expensive to build and to maintain. Existing solutions can be rigid and doesn't fit into your needs. The solutions might not be localized and might not comply to the needs of your companies or your countries. And fully building apps might affect performance. when the usage is at scale. So I'm introducing to you our solutions, the most versatile chat software development kit in Southeast Asia. We are cost efficient, it's extendable, localized, and is scalable. We are currently helping 300 companies, which is our clients, primarily in 3 use cases. The first is we help them build an in-app chats inside their applications, like how we help School, the biggest smart city apps currently in Indonesia. We help the biggest crowdfunding platform in Indonesia to enable multi-channel customer service chat. We also are helping enterprises such as Jet Trust Bank to accelerate their enterprise messenger application development. We are experiencing a strong revenue growth. We are currently, this quarter, as per today, we have reached 250,000 revenue US dollars. And we are aiming to reach 1.7 million in revenue in 2 to 3 years' time. So it's become possible and very possible because of how lucrative the market is. We are estimating a market of real-time communication technology is at the size of 3.5 billion US dollar by 2025, primarily driven by 2 main things. How the non-games mobile market has grown by 30.2% annually, and the adoption of 3G and 4G technology. If we just zoom into Indonesia market, this is at the size of 1.2 billion, and primarily driven by the large user base in Indonesia, and an exceptionally chatty lifestyle and behavior of Indonesians. We at Discuss are aiming to capture 10% of this market, aiming to reach the valuations of 120 million in 5 to 7 years' time. This is how we are charging our clients. They can simply start with a free tiers, and that can easily convert into a pro tiers by subscribing to 59 USD per month for 5,000 monthly active users. We charge an additional licensing fee for our accelerator package, as well as we offer some extensions such as supports, premise deployments, and others. Looking at our competitive analysis, it's a very interesting space. Aside from Twilio and Firebase, which is our indirect competitions, we are very different with our competitors in the sense that how we actually meet our local requirements and demands, as well as the nature of our solutions, which is end-to-end, hence can be easily integrated. On top of that, we have several unfair advantages. We are currently the only local in-app chatbot players, local in-app chatbot enablers, and allowing any chatbots being provisioned to any applications or any system through our chatting. We are versatile to fit any use cases. We are localized in our support and infrastructure, as well as we are very cost efficient. For the past 1 year, we have proven market penetration strategy, offline engagements, digital marketing, as well as strategic partnerships. So far, we have engaged with close to 20 partners, including Telkom Indonesia and the groups, which have helped us a lot in bringing our solutions and products to the market. So now I'm extending an invitation to every one of you to be part of our journey. You want to bring Discuss from this stage to the next level. You want to reach a 1.7 million revenue in 2 to 3 years' time, and you want to win Indonesia markets, and then after that grow into Southeast Asia market and globally. The funds primarily being used for product enhancement, for enterprise packaging, data and compliance, as well as market penetration expansion to win Indonesia markets and Southeast Asia. That's all from me. Let's have a conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Discuss. Yes, and also please go to slido.com and log in with the event code Indigo Day to take a poll and see which one of these startups that have been speaking today is your favorite. And if you would like to know more about the startups, you can go to the speed dating area and the startup area after the session. Now, after this, almost the end of the event this evening, but I would like to announce the winner of the door prize first. So each and every one of you who already put your business card in the bowl this morning, we will try to draw it, and you can win 1 million worth of prize. let's see the door prize. Okay, 1 OT. Muhammad S. Gemilang from Merah Putih. Is Gemilang here? No? Okay. I'll pick another one. Susanto Jaya from Metro Data Electronics. Is it Susanto Jaya? Okay. Just a message. Let's give applause for Mr. Susanto Jaya from Metro Data. And we have one other winner. Let's see. Edward Ismawan Chamdani from Idea Source. From Idea Source? No? Wait once? Wait twice? Okay, we'll draw another. Wijaksono Hari Prayoga from ILCS. No, Wijaksono?
No.
Some of you are already gone today. Too bad. Okay. Yudi from Talent. Yudi Irawan from Talent. No? Okay, if no one showed up after this, then the local team will take it and give the prize for the last part. I will draw. Dita Puspitasari from Telkom Indonesia, Divisi Government Service. No? Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay. So, we'll give the present for Mr. Susanto Jaya first. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, so we have already a full-packed event today. So we have the morning session where we have the welcoming ceremony of Indigo Startup Batch 2018 today, and also we have the CFU awarding, and we have 2 sessions of startup pitching in the morning session, and also the panel discussion and keynote speakers also. And also in this afternoon session, we have the panel discussion and fireside chat. And also we have the startup pitching just now, the 7th startup that pitch. Oh, we have another winner. Miss Lisa. Please come on, Miss Lisa.
Woo!
Let's give applause for Miss Lisa. She is the winner of the door prize today.
Balikinnya gimana? Coba dita ada. Coba dita ada.
So yes, we would like to thank our media partner, Transact Merah Putih, IGN Times, Daily Social, Webhouse, Digital6.com, Berita 1, Detik.com, MetroTVNews.com, Business.com, and Nima.co.id. And we would like to hear your feedback about this event, so we will see a great input for us to create even better event in the future. So please go to slider.com and take a survey there. Don't forget to input the event code Indigo Day. So I think that's a wrap for now. My name is Ratri and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for your kind attention and participation. Good afternoon.